Hey folks, Gary here, doing the daily Bible reading for Friday morning, and we're continuing on with Joshua chapter 2, verses 1 to 7 this morning. So let's see what it has to say for us today. Then Joshua secretly sent out 2 spies from the Israel camp at the acacia grove. He instructed them, scout out the land on the other side of the Jordan River, especially around Jericho. So that makes sense, right? If you're going to go to war, you should really check out the land so you know where to hide, where to travel, all that kind of stuff. So he sends out these spies. So the 2 men sent out and came to the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there that night. So the house would be probably like, okay, it's kind of like a hotel, but it's not like a hotel. It's just a place where travelers would stay over. Like if you're traveling someplace, you got to spend the night somewhere. That's where you would spend the night. But someone told the king of Jericho, some Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent orders to Rahab, bring out the men who have come into your house, for they have come here to spy out the whole land. So obviously someone else staying at that house ratted them out because the king knew where to go. And so they might have overheard a conversation or something. So he sends people to get them. Rahab had hidden the 2 men, but she replied, yes, the men were here earlier, but I didn't know where they were from. They left the town at dusk as the gates were about to close. I don't know where they went. If you hurry, you can probably catch up with them. But actually, she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them beneath the bundles of flax that she had laid out. So the king's men went looking for the spies along the road leading to the shallow crossings of the Jordan River. And as soon as the king's men had left, the gates of Jericho were shut. So we read this and we go, wow, lots going on here, right? Send out spies. They got to spend the night someplace. They pick a prostitute's house, all this kind of stuff. And then the king of Jericho is looking for them to get rid of them. What I grab from this is Rahab. That is just so cool. Now, Rahab is a prostitute. The Bible tells us that that's what she did. And we can say, well, man, that should disqualify her for being used by God. Like, you could have that thought. Let's don't ever think that, right? Obviously, prostitution is not a good thing. It's not what you want to do. There's a lot of scripture about that, just a lot of common knowledge about that, that is not a healthy way to live your life at all. There's a lot of problems with that. That doesn't mean it disqualifies you. If we were looking for disqualifications, probably myself, yourself, none of us would be able to be used by God. Just because people would disqualify you doesn't mean God disqualifies you. And God uses her powerfully to take care of these spies. You never know who's going to take care of you. But God does. And so he uses her. And the thing I see in this, in her story, we'll see it later on as we read through it, she has given her heart to God. In other words, she is going after him. The spies come from the Israelites, show up, and she is like, I have had enough of the idols that I have worshipped all my life. I'm going to worship your God because I know he is real and I'm going to trust him. And God always looks for a heart like that. Says, I can use that and I will use that. And he uses her. So if you're thinking you're disqualified, if people disqualified you, you're not disqualified at all. God will use you. You just give your heart to him and say, I want to be used, and God will do that. So there you go. Have an awesome Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow.